And welcome back to another episode of Down with the Browns.
What is up, boys?
We've got a very special guest today in Matty G.
What?
Matty Garoppolo? Come on down.
Aww.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's great to be on Down with the Browns. Had a great time with Christian last night on the Grand P and Manny G betting show, talking a little bit of Lamar Jackson. So it's great to get reunited. Ed, great to make my maiden voyage with you on the stream.
Let's do this.
Heck yeah. You smell it's cooking, boys?
I saw something, yeah.
I smell some break-in news getting cooked up.
Oh,
That's right. This is Ed in Columbus with your Down with the Browns. Breaking news. According to reports, the Watson camp is willing to accept an 8-game suspension. But the real question is, are Baker Bros willing to accept that Baker is not Drew Brees? In other news, the Browns will try to fill the void left by the Achilles injury to return man Jakeem Grant. Why not bring back Eric Metcalf or Josh Cribbs? If they simply just catch the ball and fall forward, it would definitely be an improvement from last year. And finally, as the Browns head to Jacksonville to play their first preseason game, Cleveland has indicated that Deshaun Watson will get the start unless the NFL steps in, leaving Deshaun on the table. This is Ed in Columbus with your Down with the Browns. Breaking news.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
that was good. That was good, Ed.
I try. Yeah.
So,
Look, I'm not playing all. I look at it this way, guys. When I have to do it twice a week, because that's what Down with the Browns does. Sometimes the second one, it's just to get the reps in. It's to get the reps in. And,
yeah, I mean, you got to have the reps in there,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still the best breaking news in America. Like,
I know,
that's why
I
the
know.
millions
We know,
tune
you know,
in.
I know. It's all good.
It's just factual. And moments before we started the show, it was released that Watson's camp and Deshaun Watson would settle on an 8-game suspension plus a fine of $5 million. But the NFL is looking for more.
Raj isn't settling on that. I'd be shocked if Watson got that. I love that as a Browns fan, but there's no way. I just don't see a way that Deshaun doesn't get at least 12 games.
I agree with Matty G. Like I said, welcome, Matty G. Network 216. You know what? When we have guys that are on assignment, we rotate, we fill them in because that's what a squad does. So Network
Right.
216.
Next man up. Next man up.
We love it. We love it. But now I think the thing is this. Of course, when you got Deshaun, who's got 6 games and hasn't admitted to anything, even though the Browns said he was remorseful, Deshaun said, well, So
Yeah.
why would he, for him to come out there and say that I'm willing to accept 2 more games? Well, usually the side that comes out first is not the side with, it seems like, the momentum and so I think that obviously they know the NFL probably is at least 12 games or maybe possibly a year. So Deshaun definitely would take 8 games. And now the fine's interesting because, you hear these reports of, got a dollar amount now kind of more definitively. $5 million from the Watson camp, especially after that contract. Yeah, but I don't know. The NFL seems to me that 12 games and at least 10 million or something. I think they really, really want to go after him. And I think they would probably take a year suspension and 5 million. I think they really want that year for optics for Rodgers, mistakes of the past. So we'll see.
Network 216.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Boys.
Right.
Yes, sir. But, if Watson does get the 12th game, there is a man out on that West Coast. Everybody knows him. It's Jimmy Gorgeous. Jimmy G.
Jimmy G, baby. Jimmy GQ.
Oh. So, what would be your guys' thoughts on the Browns inquiring and possibly acquiring Jimmy Garoppolo from the San Francisco 49ers?
So if you know me, I'm the president of the Jimmy Garoppolo fan club. You can go back on the timeline. I have tweets going back as far as September 2016, begging the Browns to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo. I have wanted him on this team for a long time. He was actually my first choice this offseason. I wanted them to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo and then draft a quarterback next season. I was a little nervous about Watson's baggage, but obviously we're here. If you're the Browns and Watson is suspended for the entire year, or even 12 games, you have to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo. Because here's the thing. He doesn't put up the greatest stats. He doesn't put up the greatest highlights, whatever, but the man wins football games. You can't deny that. People often forget He was a basic body catch away by, I want to say, Jimmy Ward in the NFC Championship game, picking off Matthew Stafford from being in the Super Bowl. Like, this guy wins football games. You're giving him an upgraded version of the San Francisco 49ers with a chip on his shoulder. Sign me up for Jimmy Garoppolo yesterday.
I agree with everything you just said, but no more chips on shoulders. And as a Cleveland fan, no more chips. We don't need that. We have other motivation. And Jimmy G, you were doing your thing with the 49ers. This Browns team, the roster is way more loaded, I believe. And, we always said last year if Baker would have just hit the open throws, there were throws that were wide open, schemed open. Look at the Pittsburgh game when I'm sitting there and you got like 3 or 4 guys wide open. And what happens? He gets sacked. I mean, Jimmy G's going to get rid of the ball. I mean, that's the thing. He knows the offense is, different. It's different, obviously, but
right.
it's similar. It's similar with Shanahan and Stefanski. So, I mean, I don't know. And plus, guys, let's be real. You got the Guardians. You got the G's. You got the first place Cleveland Guardians right now. Bring Jimmy G. It ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Let's do this in Cleveland.
Yes, sir. And, I mean, the offense, this would be an upgrade. The offense that went to the Super Bowl with him back in 2019, 2020. That was a good offense. I'm not going to bash on it at all. But I think when you got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Amari Cooper, plus David Njoku, and an up-and-coming wide receiver, and Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think that's an upgraded offense from them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
And, if you look, Christian, let's go look back at that 49ers offense. They went to the Super Bowl on what? Their running game? Absolutely. So there are 3 running backs that year were Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, and Matt Breida. So you're going to try and tell me that that's better than Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Dearness Johnson with Felton and Ford with the best offensive line in football? You can't you can't sit here and say that this wouldn't be Jimmy's best supporting cast.
That's what we love to hear.
You come on the show, Matty G. Matty G comes on the show, okay? And usually Mac's on here and then Manny's on here. Usually I'm fighting with Mac because it's easy and obvious. But Matty G comes on the show. What do you want us to do? Argue with everything you're saying? I mean, you're making it easy.
Yeah,
for us
we're just
agreeing. What do you want us to do? I mean,
hey, I'm used to Grant coming and calling me an idiot for saying anything. So I mean, I just it's nice to be among friends, I guess.
But yeah, well, you know what? Actually, honestly, I kind of, I'm so used to when Max says something I can argue with. It's like, this friends thing. It's like, hey, you know what? Maybe as a friend, throw something out there. We'll see as the show continues on. But
if he starts with that horrible Lamar Jackson take that he had last night,
he's more than welcome to expound to our listeners right now. What was that Lamar Jackson take that you have?
So I said he was not a top 14 quarterback, and I named the 14 quarterbacks who I think are better than Lamar.
You know what? Honestly, I'll say this. You know what? I think Lamar Jackson it's funny because he plays quarterback. He is a quarterback, but he's not a top 4. I understand your point. You can do that game, but because he is that quarterback in that position, it's like, what would the Ravens be without him almost? So it's kind of it's almost like it's a college thing. It's like, it's so weird. It's like they're the one team that can still do that. And they can win enough regular season games, but it's never going to work in the playoffs. I think that's always going to be their downfall. And it's just like, okay, we got Watson now. We actually, Cincinnati's got Burrow. We don't know what Little Hands is going to do in Pittsburgh, but I mean, they still run a normal offense compared to anything that the Ravens do. So we shall see. But I actually agree with that take. If you're just putting it on a quarterback, what they do as a quarterback, but because he is a quarterback and plays that position, he is, because he means so much to the Ravens. So I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to answer the question because he is, but he isn't.
No, you should hear who he said was better than Lamar Jackson. That's the thing.
All right,
it's not the take in general. It's who.
Most outrageous one. What was the most outrageous one?
He said Matt Ryan.
As a quarterback, I can see what he's
like. Ed, no.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I'll say something. This is blasphemy. But you look at Carson Wentz's numbers last year, 27 touchdowns.
I was going to say Carson Wentz, too. Carson Wentz.
All right.
I also said Kirk was better than him. I'd rather have Kirk as a thrower.
I think you're right.
Oh,
I think he's right.
All right.
Plus the Ravens. Why are you thinking of
pressure raising right now?
He's going to Miami anyway.
He is going to Miami, so.
Jeff, yes. Shout out to Jeff, one of our.
Yeah, shout out to Superfan Jeff. He's in every stream, I swear to you.
I love Jeff. He is, yeah.
He's a 216 for life.
Yeah.
He's a lifer. Oh, man.
How does it feel, Christian, to be outnumbered 2-1?
I know.
You know what? Against all odds, I still come out the top dog.
What does that even mean? What does that mean? You come out the top. What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm still the king.
Okay. What does that get you anything? You're gonna get a crown. I'm gonna give you a crown.
Yeah, I get free stuff from Burger King, bro.
Oh, okay. Then you're the winner, man. All right, then. Fair enough.
Why aren't you getting free stuff from KFC? Your name is literally KFC.
So, he doesn't want to claim that on his taxes, Matty G.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and the Colonel got a deal going on. All right. So, Jimmy G, all that. But, there's been some other news regarding the Browns, and it's with that team in South whatever part of Ohio with the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase.
We don't claim them in Ohio. They're in Kentucky.
Yeah, no.
We
don't claim them. You see like where the little outline of Ohio's at?
Yeah.
At the bottom. That's where Cincinnati's at. Okay, it's still in there. It counts.
Well, I think it should count for tax purposes. I'm sure that, I don't know if the city of Cincinnati is draining economically the state of Ohio, but look, I look this way. If we audit this city of Cincinnati and they are running fiscally responsible, and then we'll keep them. But if they're not, then we got to get rid of their teams. I mean, their airport's in Kentucky. I think that we got to do something, some investigation.
And they drink gravy for chili.
All right, they're out. Never mind.
No, we're not claiming them. That sweet chili crap they got. No,
we're done. Thanks, Matty G. Can
we annex them into like Indiana? Is that possible?
I don't really.
Yeah, the border's on Indiana. I mean, yeah, we can say that.
We can send them over there.
Who cares where they go?
Exactly.
Just get them. Just say goodbye.
Push them over into the river.
Did you guys care where Baker went? I mean, did you guys care where Baker went? Why do you guys care where Cincinnati goes?
True. I didn't care where Baker went. But Sherry from wherever that chick from at Panthers training camp was just happy to go to the Steelers.
Oh yeah, that's right. I actually probably would have been better if we went to Pittsburgh because we only get to beat them in week 1 this year, and we don't play them every year. But if we went to Pittsburgh, that's twice a year. We could take them out.
Yeah,
I just don't legitimately, and like this can be clipped and come back to haunt me. I will be shocked if he plays well against the Browns week 1. I will be.
I agree.
That defense hates him. Like legitimately, they're going to make an example out of him.
And the thing is, it's not even just giving props to the Browns defense. He's not had a long time in the offense.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna look good in training camp.
Yep.
I mean, there's footage of Jacoby Brissett, and he looks like a top 10 quarterback.
Brandon Weed didn't look good in a
Deshaun Kaiser.
Sometime. I mean,
even in preseason games, bro. Like we were sold on Deshaun Kaiser.
Oh, you ready to hear probably my hottest Browns take of all time?
Let's hear it.
Deshaun Kaiser was a franchise quarterback that was ruined by Hugh Jackson.
I thought Brian Kelly ruined him.
I could see that too. I think that he was truly a prospect. He came out of college too early because Brian Kelly is Brian Kelly. And then Hugh threw the ball with him like 47 times his second game. Like if you look like go back and watch the highlights of that first Steelers game week 1 where we almost beat them. And Kaiser looked great. He had that one pick to TJ Watt in the red zone, which didn't look so hot. But outside of that, he was great.
Yep.
Okay. Can I ask you guys a question?
No.
I want you. Yes, I'm going to anyways. All right. One game. This is just for one game. Which quarterback are you taking to lead you in this game? Josh McCown or Deshaun Kaiser?
Okay, I got a question. I got a preference. That is this the team that. Okay, so this quarterback, either between those two quarterbacks, are they playing with this roster or are they playing with the teams that they were on? You know what I'm saying?
This roster.
Okay, now who's the quarterbacks again? McCown and who?
Kaiser.
McCown threw for like 300 some yards and stuff with those. I'm telling you, McCown, he threw interceptions late in games, but I think with this offense, McCown's winning games 40-28. I give me McCown. I really, he actually has a record, I think, for three consecutive 300-yard games or whatever like that. If you actually look, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
I'm taking Kaiser. I really am. I think he's a physical specimen. He throws a pretty deep ball. I think Kaiser, Donovan Peoples-Jones could be special.
Damage good.
You can run that read option.
He's damaged goods. I'm telling you, Brian Kelly got to him. By the time that Hugh Jackson ruined him some more, he was damaged goods. He was never going to be. McCown can actually look good for, like, you can't have McCown play for a whole season, but there's stretches. For a few games. Yeah, there's stretches he can actually look like.
Isn't he the Browns franchise record holder for single game passing yards? He threw for 450 yards.
400, against the Chargers or something like
that. I thought it was against the Ravens.
Yes.
He went all. Bro,
it was against the Ravens. Yep, you're right.
Gary Barnidge that year. Or was it in 16? No, it was 15.
It was 15, yeah. He was. Yeah. That was during the Browns' weird record of finding a bunch of good tight ends for no reason.
Yep.
we had Jordan Cameron, Gary Barnidge, and Jim Drake. That was actually a low.
That was a solid team.
Yes.
Better than this tight end room.
Yeah. I could argue that. Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Dude, Jordan Cameron was a dog.
He was.
Where would Njoku fit in that tight end room?
2.
Yeah, I agree. I would put him number 1.
He'd be behind Cameron.
I think he has potential to become a tight end 1. I'm hoping he does. Yeah, for sure. I think, with Watson, he focuses on tight ends a lot in that.
He does.
Yeah. He's a red zone. He looks for the tight ends.
How many TDs did Darren Fellows have with them?
7.
8? 7? Yeah, 7.
Yeah. That was Darren Fellows. That's crazy.
I will say this. I thought Darren Fells was underrated when he played for us. Thought he made some good catches.
I agree. I thought so too.
Who's that one guy? Seals Jones.
Oh,
you remember those spurts?
I legitimately thought that was a terrible decision to get rid of him. I like Seals Jones a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No. That 2019 season, dude. Every time I go back and watch those highlights, every time that season, there'd be 3 or 4 drives a game where this team could win the Super Bowl. And then there'd be 4 drives where it'd be they could not win a game for the rest of the year. That was the most maddening than being a Browns fan.
That year was so crazy though. The Ravens game. We went into Baltimore and just beat the absolute brakes
out of them.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
We didn't have Denzel.
Yeah, no, didn't have our two starting corners. Didn't have Denzel or Greedy. Because that was when Greedy was a stud back then before the injury.
That's true.
And no Greedy won.
Yeah, because he's suspended.
Yeah. No, looking back, that 2019 team should have division. If there was a coach, if they had Greg Williams, they would, instead of Freddie, they would have won the division. That's my hot take.
I agree. I like come get some.
Yeah. That defense though, it needed a lot of work.
It did need a lot of work. It was better than freaking Steve Wilkes, who just pretended the middle 15 yards of the field didn't exist.
You had some bad defensive coordinators in Cleveland.
Yeah.
The only good one I can think of who I liked Ray Horton a lot in 2013.
Oh, I can't Ray Horton. No.
I was about to say Ray Horton.
In 2013, I liked Ray Horton.
He was good the first time.
His
around.
first stint was
first time around
good.
he was good. The second time he was not.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know what's been worse sometimes, your defensive coordinators or your quarterbacks in Cleveland. I mean, it's been bad.
I mean, they've went hand in hand. So.
I've wanted them to get rid of Joe Woods from the beginning. I wanted them to hire Wade Phillips instead of him.
I love Wade. Wade Phillips always wins wherever he goes. That 3-4. I mean, the problem is I don't like the 3-4 though. I'm not a big 3-4 guy.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm a big 4-3 disguise as a 3-4.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll do that.
That linebacker, kind of disguising as an edge rusher. I'm a big fan of that.
Absolutely, because I love Evan. Yeah, absolutely.
See, the only reason I truly like Joe Woods' defense is I think we got the right personnel for it. But
the
also,
JOK thing helps.
Yeah, having JOK really helps. But I like running it in Madden too.
We talking Pro Bowl this year for JOK?
No.
I mean,
you can't play in the Pro Bowl when you're in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, KFC with that Nashville hot takes right now.
And you're looking good. Oh,
yeah, I think so. I think you can make a Pro Bowl absolutely because he's gonna have a lot of opportunities for tackles. And that's what I like. I mean, I like he's sideline to sideline guy, and he needs his counterpart to stay healthy. I think this year.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Everybody's talking about Jacob Phillips taking that role.
Jacob Phillips. I didn't want to say his name.
But Anthony Walker.
He was good last season.
Yeah, he was real good in that role.
I will say this. Another guy I know Barry doesn't value linebackers that much. I would call Chicago and see.
Oh,
if you
you
could see what you could see what the price is for Roquan Smith. Obviously, I don't know if we can get him with Mike McGuire or one. Man, I would rather pay him than Njoku.
I could see that.
But the thing is does he fit in the defense though?
He's athletic, man. He's athletic. He would fit well next to JOK.
I just don't know. He's wanting 20.
How athletic
million.
is he? Okay, like on a scale, like okay, compare him to somebody else from even like the last 10 that you could say. He's not like a Bryant or like give me a linebacker that you could possibly compare to. Because I don't think I know the name and everything, but if you're gonna make such a commitment like that and trade for him, who could he be like?
He plays a lot like Fred Warner to me.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Fred Warner, maybe
good coverage guy. Can cover tight ends.
I'm trying to think. Maybe reminds me a little bit of James Harrison too.
I like that. James Harrison was a beast, and there were many games that we were black and blue afterwards because him and the rest of us.
He ruined Colt's career.
Yeah, he did.
I hate the Steelers. Gosh.
Sorry.
Another Matty G hot take. I hate the Ravens more than the Steelers, actually.
I could see that. At least the Steelers win. Like, you have to respect them, but the Ravens were us bastards.
We were us. and they get lucky. Every time the Ravens have done well in the playoffs, they always seem to win on like a fluke play or something like that. That's part of the reason I don't like Lamar. That dude's the luckiest.
Like a 66-yard field goal in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly.
The refs help you out a little bit because they don't.
Exactly.
They don't stop the clock. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys remember last year when Lamar literally just hiked up the ball to Mark Andrews and he caught it one-handed on Ronnie Harrison?
That should have been a pick. If Ronnie Harrison wasn't so bad at he's probably the worst coverage safety in the NFL. If Ronnie Harrison actually knew what he was doing, that would have been 5 picks for Lamar. He should have probably had 6 that game.
I don't think we're getting Ronnie Harrison on the show.
Ronnie Harrison, I remember that play vividly and losing it because I was like, dude, I don't know, that was a terrible throw. Ronnie completely had he wasn't paying attention. Is he on the Tony Jefferson plan where he's not wearing his contacts on the field?
Tony Jefferson will not be joining down with the Browns either.
And welcome our new special guest, Ronnie Harrison.
I've actually met Ronnie Harrison. Fun fact. I actually got a fun little story for you guys. So do you remember the Raiders game with all the COVID stuff?
Yeah.
So that week I worked at local Dick's, and that week Jadeveon Clowney, Ronnie Harrison, and Curtis Weaver came in and did a secret Santa thing for these little kids where they gave them $500 to buy whatever. Well, keep in mind this was during the COVID surge, when all the guys and like that night I remember it was announced Case Keenum had tested positive. So I was like, all right, this is interesting. And 2 days later, Clowney, Ronnie, and Curtis Weaver all tested positive. There was 25 people working in the store. I was the only one who did not test positive because I had pissed off my manager and she knew I was a big Browns fan. So she stuck me at the entrance doing a cashier in the back, the only register by myself with a TV, and they were all on the other side of the store. So I didn't see them at all. I was the only one who didn't get COVID. There was 28 people out. That next Saturday I had to work. We had 5 people running a store that was 20,000 square feet. I was on the phone with we had the NFL contact tracing people reached out to me. Yeah, crazy story.
Wow.
That was one of those things that's cool about what was living around here. Yeah, it was
nice.
That was definitely
Wow.
wild.
Well, maybe unlike OBJ, you had a mutual respect with COVID, and COVID didn't enter your body.
I guess you could say that, Ed. I guess you could say that.
It didn't work for OBJ, obviously, but he did contract it. He did. I remember when he did. And people were like, I thought that was kind of.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. So Matty G, huge question. Might dictate if I kick you off the show or not. Waffles or pancakes?
There's only one answer, Christian. Waffles.
Okay, you say.
He's a dog,
yeah,
Christian. He's a dog.
He's a dog.
Waffles are, dude. Pancakes are okay. Waffles, dude. You can put waffles with anything. Obviously, Christian, you're a Southern boy. Chicken and waffles. Can't miss with that. Just have you ever been to IHOP? I'm guessing. IHOP has this cinnamon toast crunch waffle that is fantastic. They crush up the cinnamon toast crunch and put it in like this frosting and cover it in it. It is so good.
You know what's funny about that?
Bullshit that pancakes are better than waffles. Come on, what you tell me? IHOP or Waffle House? Waffle House. It's not even a contest.
Yes.
But I will say this: the best menu on the Waffle House item, they're hash browns. Waffle House hash browns do not miss.
Okay.
So you know what's funny? You don't see Waffle House commercials. You do see IHOP commercials.
Yeah.
As Nick Chubb said.
The Lamborghini.
You don't see the Lamborghini commercials.
Exactly.
That's right. I love that. I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry. Same thing with waffles. Waffles and Lamborghinis in the same combo.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that take, Ed?
That's a hot take.
Bro, Watson's starting tomorrow.
When's this? As a Browns fan, the decision, it's coming tomorrow, don't you think? Right? Yes.
Yeah, it's our.
I mean, thanks, Jeff. Plus the waffles. Anything can happen. That is correct.
That's a fact.
That is true.
The awful waffle, as they call it. But no, I was just saying, as a Browns fan, you're just saying you're excited that Deshaun Watson's going to start first preseason game in Jacksonville tomorrow. But as a Cleveland Browns fan, we got our Lamborghini. And I know it's not the Nick Chubb thing, but Deshaun Watson's Lamborghini over what we had. Okay, and it doesn't seem like the NFL wants to give us the keys, or there's no gas in it right now. And it's just I don't see a scenario. Do you see Deshaun Watson playing 1 or 2 series, and then why would the NFL just wait till Monday? I mean, I don't know, maybe this Harvey guy just wants. I mean, come on, they got to know by now. What are they doing? These people, how many hours do you have to sit and look? The evidence didn't change. They submitted the documents to them. Whatever. Like, how long does it really take? Like,
I think the NFL's management of this process has been kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you. I just think they could streamline this a lot more. And here's the other thing I think, Ed, that you didn't even get a chance to mention. If he's suspended indefinitely, he has to leave camp immediately. The team's already in Jacksonville.
Right?
How much of a middle finger that is to the Browns? Like, that he would there's a legitimate chance he could be on the field warming up, and they're going to have to pull a Rudy Gobert type of deal and take him off the field and send him to Siberia.
Yeah, why do they know? So just release it before. Why do they do? I don't understand. I just don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because they're going to wait till right before week 1 and just get all their hopes up.
Well, he'd still be suspended through the first 6 games. I guess this is a popular misnomer. He can't, if he takes it to court, he is still serving that 6-game suspension because it hasn't been thrown out. So the earliest we would see Deshaun Watson this season is week 7. Injunction, no matter what.
So I got a question. So here's the thing. So when they break for training camp and they officially say it's the NFL says we're in week 1, the preparations for week 1, is that when Deshaun Watson has to leave the team then, or can he still be?
And then he can come back halfway through his
suspension. The Falcons. It might be the Falcons week or whatever.
He would come back in the facility for the Falcons game.
Okay.
We need that. We need him in the locker room to help us prepare for the Falcons. So it's the toughest game on schedule.
Marcus Mariota. Who wins that? Matty G. Desmond Ridder or Marcus Mariota? When does Ridder take over?
I honestly can see that against us. I'm a professional Ridder hater. I don't like Desmond Ridder. I think he's a giant fraud. I think the Cincinnati Bearcats are a giant fraud, and I think you're about to see Ridder get absolutely exposed in the NFL. I mean, I don't know how big of a college football fan you are, Ed, but
huge.
Watching that Cotton Bowl was hideous. My family was at that game, and I was stuck in Cleveland taking care of my dogs while I watched on the TV. Desmond Ridder got absolutely shown up by Nick Saban and got proved why he's not an NFL QB. He couldn't beat single basic coverage. I'm thinking of right now, there was a play, first drive of the series. He had a guy in a basic slant route. If he hits him, he was wide open.
Was it Alec Pierce? Was it Alec Pierce or whatever? That one.
It was Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
Yep. It goes right over his head. Dude was right open on a slant. Yeah. No, I don't like University of Cincinnati. I don't like the city of Cincinnati. It's people who live in Cincinnati thinks it's the greatest place ever. The city's a piece of crap. I've been there a couple of times. It's really not that nice. We don't want him in Ohio. Kentucky doesn't want him. Indiana doesn't want him. That tells you all you need to know about Cincinnati.
West
I want to say
Virginia.
this. I want to say, living in Columbus, like our Columbus crew, we always like to have fun beating their FC Cincinnati. So that's always fun, a little rivalry there. And so we do our thing. Ohio State, we beat down the Bearcats when we play them in football. We don't play them much, but so I don't. If you hate Cincinnati, that's fine. I ain't gonna be mad at you.
Quick question.
How do I feel about Cincy, Jeff? I think I just can't. I hate that. I just do not like Cincy. I'm sorry. I would probably put like the three things I dislike the most, I guess right now are 1, Lamar Jackson.
Louisville,
2, the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
Facts.
3, the city of Cincinnati.
Okay. What's your top 3, Ed?
Cities that I dislike?
No, 3. Just things you dislike. Like top 3.
Honestly.
First thing that comes to your head, like what are the first 3 things? Like,
you know what it is? Browns fans are afraid to be Browns fans, and make so much out of things, and just like I don't know. I just want it to be fun, and I understand that Browns fans have whatever, and I just think that like as we're getting closer to football season, I just think that like I don't know, like I hate people that shame me because I wear a Browns hat or what I'm saying, and things like that. And I'm kind of getting sick of it a little bit, and I just wish that hey, it is entertainment. And I don't know. It's nothing more than that. Cleveland over Browns, Browns over any single player. And let's just have some fun. I don't know. So that's my number 1. I don't really hate those people. I guess I'm just tired of it. Maybe they got their reasons and are legit. So I don't want to, discount that. But I'm just tired. I just want to have fun.
Facts.
And you know what? And Fluff, Baltimore and Fluff, Pittsburgh. Those are 2 and 3.
I feel that. All
right. What about you, KFC? I'm guessing that your top 3 you don't like are Popeyes, Bojangles, Zaxby's.
Bro, okay, let me clarify. Top 3 things that I do not like. Number 1, the Ratbirds. Number 2, pancakes.
Okay.
Number 3, gas prices.
All right. I think that's a pretty strong top 3 right there. I don't think you're gonna get anybody arguing with you on that.
Exactly. They do. They're bums. They probably pour their milk before the cereal.
They have training wheels on their bicycles.
Who was it I said that to?
I know. All right. It was on my mind. I saw it. So.
I said that to somebody. That's funny. Oh God. But all right, Matty G, what has been your favorite Browns, being a Browns fan, moment? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm a fan of this team.
I will start. I guess I'll say the moment when I knew I was a Browns fan was in 2010 against the Patriots. I wasn't really into football, going up to my favorite sport was basketball. I lived and died with the Cavs, and my heart was smashed into a million pieces by LeBron during the decision. I cried that night like you would have thought my entire family was killed in front of me. But so I was kind of looking for something else to kind of pay attention to because the Cavs, the 2010-2011 season, if anyone who followed
Shaq.
They were
the 1 year after Shaq.
The year after, before Kyrie, that was the one darkest
Baron
team.
Davis, baby.
Yeah, it was just
number 85, Baron Davis.
Baron Davis,
Ramon Sessions.
Ramon Sessions and Baron Davis were my guys. Baron Davis,
Antoine.
That when Baron Davis beat the Heat, that game where they beat the Heat, I legitimately was almost as happy as I was when they won Game 7 against the Warriors. They won it all. I remember feeling that was that was for me one of the greatest moments of my Cavs fandom. But to get back into it, so no, it was crazy because my dad was explaining to me because I didn't understand football at the time, how the Patriots were the big bad, they went 14-2 that year. I just actually looked at the game box score today, and their one loss was to the 4-12 Browns. One of them, it's crazy to look back. Colt McCoy and Peyton Hillis took them behind.
We beat them down. It
wasn't close. It was a beatdown. It was legitimately a beatdown. And so then my favorite moment as a Browns fan would be in 2020. I guess technically 2021. It was January 3rd, 2021, when we beat Pittsburgh to make the playoffs. I was at that game, actually, and I got to go with my childhood friend who was a diehard Steelers fan. So every day for my entire life, we were friends. Since I was a freshman in high school, he would make fun of me about the Browns, yada, yada, yada. And we always said we would go to a Browns-Steelers game together once. And it just worked out that the only time I got to go to a Browns-Steelers game with him was when he got to witness us make the playoffs by beating his Steelers. That was the most content I have ever been walking out of a sporting event. That's
Wow.
that's easily my favorite moment as a Browns fan.
So, have you ever saw the Browns lose in person?
I have season tickets, Christian.
Oh, so you saw a lot of losses. All right.
I've had season tickets since 2017.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, you saw a lot
You
of
didn't start
losses.
out too well then.
No, I did not.
So, I have never saw a Browns loss in person.
What's your Browns record then?
It is 4-0-1.
Oh, so you're at a tie. So what were the
The
4 wins?
Pittsburgh tie, right?
Yeah, it was Pittsburgh. I was so mad. I'd rather us lose that game than
Yeah,
tie.
that tie was bullshit. So what were the 4 wins?
So I got to go see. Do you remember back in 2014 when the Browns went down to Cincinnati on Thursday Night Football?
Oh, you were at that game? That was a great
Yes,
game.
Brian Hoyer and them boys, Isaiah
3 running backs
Crowell,
just ran it down their throat.
Yeah,
Isaiah Crowell,
7-4
West,
then. I think.
Terrence West.
Ben Tate.
I tell you
Ben
what,
Tate, yes.
that is the moment I knew Cincinnati did not have a fan base. They were all fair weather fans because they were walking out of the stadium in the third quarter.
Shame
So
on them.
your boy got up in the
Like-
front row.
He had 3 picks that game, didn't he? Buster Screen.
He had 2, and I want to say Craig Robinson had 1. He had one.
Ah,
It
that
was
was-
like
I knew
right
they
off the bat.
they annihilated the Bengals. Like it was ugly. Like that
Yeah.
offense did nothing.
Yeah, Andy Dalton had the worst statistical like QBR I think of all time or something like that. I know it's something crazy like that. And then game 2 was versus the Titans the next year. The Johnny football game.
Yeah, when he threw to Travis Benjamin
Twice, and he brought one back for a punt return.
I went to the game after that, and they started Josh McCown. I'll never get
Against
over
the Raiders.
it. Yeah, against the Raiders. I went. Why did Johnny? I know first round pick. You drafted him. Why don't you play him? He won an NFL game, the home opener that year in 2015. So next thing they go back to McCown. That's so, that's what the owner needs to step in. And that's why Manziel, I would have loved to see what his career would have been. I know it would have probably floundered, but at the same time, it's like, I'd rather see Manziel lose to the Raiders than watch McCown.
I'll tell you this right now. I know I'm going to get a little bit of hate for that. That second throw Johnny made in the fourth quarter with like a minute 58 left to Travis Benjamin is the best throw I've ever seen.
I think, that is, yeah.
That was beautiful.
It was.
Brian Arapko came off the edge. If that was Baker, would have ended in a sack. Makes a miss. He sets up the throw. My one buddy was like, he wasn't moving. He set his feet, but I was like, yeah, he had 2 guys coming right at him. Throws a dart, gets whacked on the play. And the thing is, it was for the win. That is the most talented. I will say, he is probably outside of Watson, the most talented QB in Browns history since 1999. I would even go back as far. I'd say, granted, this was before my time. I would say he was more talented than Bernie.
I know what I always say that because I grew up watching Bernie, and that was I was older. And Bernie to me was just he was so cerebral. He's like, you know what he is? Bernie was like a Kirk Cousins, but 6'5" instead. But you know what I'm saying? But he had a good team. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're getting. No offense to him, but that's what he was. And I think with Johnny, I'm hot take. I'm a Johnny stan. I don't care.
I am too.
I'll get drunk with him. I'll get drunk with him on a Swan if I have to. I love John. I don't care. And he was fun. And I just think Mike Pettin should have kept playing him. They did take, any quarterback that you take in the first round, if they win you an NFL game, you never bench him for any circumstances the next game. You never bench him. I've never heard of such a thing.
And let's talk about this. Let's talk about the roster that Johnny inherited. I don't think people take this crazy. I saw some statistic when an NFL team takes a quarterback in the first round, 85% of the time they take a wide receiver later that draft. The Browns didn't. Then the next year they didn't take a receiver in the draft till Vince Mailey in the 4th round, and he's a bona fide scrub.
Well, we did have Josh Gordon though.
But they knew he was going to be suspended going into the draft.
Josh Gordon. Just because he's on your team doesn't mean he's playing.
I'm a Josh Gordon stan too. I have said, and I'll say it again, if Josh Gordon did not have his addiction issues, I firmly believe he would go down as the greatest player in NFL history. I don't know on offense if we've seen a guy do what he could do with the talent that was around him. He was as fast as. He was at that point probably as fast as Tyreek Hill.
That Patriots game when he caught that slant, 80 yards, it's like
yeah, exactly. That was a basic. What would you say? Average receiver, 12 yards. Average receiver, he took it. Yeah, he took it to the house.
He housed it.
If you look back, Josh Gordon, that's him and Johnny are tragic to me because I truly think if they both had their heads on straight, they would both be Cleveland Browns and we would have numerous division titles. because they were just that good. I mean, it's unfortunate to see how, that just goes to show, unfortunately, how much the mental part of the game matters.
Yeah. That's what I always say, that even when we talk about the Kareem Hunt thing, and I get the blowback when it comes to, okay, you got Jerome Ford, you got the salary cap, you got all this or that. But I look this way, it's more than just that. It is a game of emotions, a game of humans. And my thing is this with that is like Nick Chubb really likes Kareem Hunt. And I don't know. I like to keep people happy, and I want to keep Nick Chubb happy. And I know that Andrew Berry does a good job of replacing players and stuff like that. But sometimes you have to break those rules and those guardrails and things like that. And to your point, I think that game of emotions, game of this, and that whole Johnny thing with Josh Gordon, I think played into that. Let's be real. If the NFL had a better weed policy, then Josh Gordon would still, it wasn't alcohol, it was weed, and things like that. So I don't know. I mean, it just once again, Cleveland's always on the tragic end of stupid stuff, it seems.
Yeah.
I mean, another guy, like, it's sad. Like, I can think of numerous guys, like, in our history. Like, even, like, I know this is a little bit more recent going to basketball. Kevin Porter Jr. is a guy who comes to mind.
Yeah.
He, like you put him on last year's Cavs team, he fills the hole that they needed, and they probably, I would say they were in the Eastern Conference Finals at probably.
I think they're Andrew Wiggins away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals on a year in and year out basis.
Yeah, no, they're a legitimate team. I know Eddie in our Network 216 chat loves to hate on them. This team is loaded. Like, if you go through and look at the potential, like Isaac Okoro and Ochai Agbaji would start on most teams in the NBA, and one of them's going to be coming off the bench. Colin Sexton is going to be coming off the bench. This team is loaded, and I think the Eastern Conference this year is really kind of weak. Miami kind of overperformed. I know Manny – I'm glad Manny's not on here when I'm going to say the Celtics are frauds. They just kind of I mean – the Warriors, who are not as good as they used to be, exposed them in the finals. I mean, who in the East really scares you? There's nobody in the East that scares me. Philadelphia, if James Harden is a rule change away from being a poor man's Jordan Clarkson, like, there's just nobody who scares me.
I agree. I agree. And Christian, we're gonna go to baseball, and then we're gonna do a little hockey. I want to talk about Johnny Hockey. Columbus Blue Jackets.
Johnny,
I'm just joking. We're down with the Browns. Maddie,
I'm about to say I don't know much about hockey, so
I don't know anything about hockey.
No, so, I don't either. I was hoping you guys did, but never mind. We'll stick with the Browns, I guess. I don't know.
I think I will ask this, and I think we could wrap this one up because I think we're going a little longer. I don't know when that next show is going to be, so I'm gonna ask this one question. Or we can do a little Dogger Pup for about 5.
I love Dogger Pup.
Have you ever heard of Dogger Pup, Matty G?
I got an idea, but refresh my mind.
All right, so we're going to ask a topic. You say it's a dog or it's a pup.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty simple.
Pretty simple,
yeah. All right, Cheez-Its, dog or pup?
What type of Cheez-Its?
Just normal. Regular Cheez-Its.
I'm going to go dog. I love Cheez-Its. They're an underrated snack.
Dog all day, and with a regular Coca-Cola Classic, Cheez-Its all day. Dog.
Absolutely.
Dog.
All right. So, dog or pup on his fantasy football team name? Obi-Wan Jacoby.
Dog.
That's dog. I got to give that a dog. That's
Heck yeah. That's mine.
That's a great name. Now you got to go. You only got one thing left to do now. Win the whole damn thing.
That's exactly right.
With a name like that, you better win.
That's for sure. So I am drafting today. I think I have the 6th or the 7th pick in this draft. Dog or pup? I take Stephon Diggs with that pick.
Pup. I think Gabe Davis has a huge year this year.
Thing is this: if you're picking 6th or 7th, who would be your top running back that you? I still think
that I don't want. I'm not taking Christian McCaffrey. I don't care if he falls.
No, I don't blame you.
I'm not touching him.
CMC. How many team league is it, Christian?
It's 8. So I mean, I'm gonna have a stacked roster anyways. So
yeah, it's just. I would go quarterback there. Actually, I would look at Josh Allen because I think. No, hold on. Before Christian. Hold on. You're gonna get a solid running back that's gonna fall to you no matter what. The run on QBs and drafts always happens earlier than you think it's going to. You know you're gonna get a guy who would be in late first, early second round pick in your average 10 to 12 game, and your average 10 to 12 league. And also play a little mind games here. You might start the QB run early.
I know exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah, everybody.
I do like that. You're right about that.
I'm actually I'm gonna take a kicker. I'm
Kay
pulling out.
York.
Back in the good old days, I used to take Stephen Gostkowski in the 10th round every year. He was my fantasy kicker from 2010 to 2019 when he retired. Every year.
Consistent. Every
Yeah,
year.
he was consistent. Always got me a good 9-12 points.
I stole that name and used it. That's awesome. So the only time I think I've ever won like a very competitive fantasy football league, like I mean I do a few of them, but like there's one that Dad does at work, and I won it a couple years ago. I think it's like back in 2015 or 2014. And there's some serious cash in there, but that's when I took Marshawn Lynch and I had Eddie Lacy, and I want to say that's when Julius Thomas was still with the Denver Broncos.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah. Yes,
Bro,
sir.
I ate that year.
all right.
My only year ever winning a fantasy league was in 2017.
Me too.
My
2017 was mine. 2017 was
And
mine.
my starting QB was Case Keenum.
That's solid.
Yeah.
I want to say mine was Russ.
I had, you know what? I had Cooper Kupp on my team, and that's why I won it.
Last
In
year,
2017?
2017. Yeah. No, was it? When he played?
Was he in the league?
Was he a rookie?
Yeah, he was a rookie. He was a
Yeah,
rookie.
he was a rookie.
He had a good year.
He had a great year, and I remember. You know how I found out about him was I was listening to the Colin Cowherd show, and Colin Cowherd was talking about Cooper Kupp from Eastern Washington or something.
Yeah, Washington. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, fantasy is it's always a great time every year, and especially us as Browns fans haven't had much to look forward to on Sundays, so it definitely kind of breaks up the pain a little bit.
Yeah. We may be doing one here on Down with the Browns, so if we do, we will we'll hit you up, Matty G, and
just know you guys are be coming in second no matter what. Matty G doesn't.
No. I ain't coming. I'm probably coming last.
Coming first. All right. So, all right, we'll end this. We'll end it on this note right here, on this dogger pup.
All right. Oh, boy.
Myles Garrett, week 1.
Oh, jeez.
Dog. Absolute dog. I'm thinking 3 sacks for Myles.
I'm going to go. I know Myles loves dinosaurs. He's going to go T-Rex. He's gonna eat Baker, and he's gonna have like 3 sacks. So yeah.
I dig it, yes sir. So great way to end the episode. Thanks for tuning in, boys and ladies, and yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in, and go Browns.
Go Browns. Go Browns.